All right, let's try this again for the second take. Um, so my name is Benny Ruben Reyes. Disclaimer: I am not a medical professional. Do not listen to me. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is also to get a grade in my speech class. All the information in this video is from my own experiences and from online resources that I have gathered from the web. Um, so let's go ahead and let's get started then. Um, have you or a loved one ever had knee, neck, back, or shoulder pain? I know, right? 5 seconds in, and it's like I'm trying to get you to do an insurance claim. In actuality, I'm just trying to sell you information for free that could potentially save you from a lot of discomfort or even possibly surgery. What I'm trying to sell you is physical education. Physical education. Physical education will better your life. I've had knee injuries that required me to stay off of them for a while. I've had it. It also caused me to have physical therapy. Um, Also worth mentioning some things that happen. I have lower back pain every now and then. This is due to a extra lumbar vertebrae, basically meaning that I have an extra vertebrae in my spine that causes my torso to be a little bit longer than the average person. Um, Now with exercising, keeping the lower back strong, I'm able to avoid that as much as possible. Uh, but let's start. Let's begin with the most common injuries and a few facts to go along with it. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics published in 2019 and 2018, there were over 350,000 non-fatal injuries in the forms of sprains, strains, and tears that involved days, if not months, away from work. Now I don't know about you all, but the job that I have, if I miss work, I'm not getting paid, so that could be a very big problem. Um, so non-fatal injuries are injuries that do not involve death. Uh, let's talk about the sprain. The sprain is right above me. That is what you consider a sprain. Sprain is the result of a twisting of ligaments violently enough to cause pain and swelling, but not dislocation. Uh, let's go back. Let's go to strains. Strain is a force tending to pull or stretch something to an extreme damaging degree. A tear. A tear is another common one. A tear is a hole or a split in something caused by it having being pulled apart forcefully. Um, all these definitions are pulled from the Oxford Dictionary. Oh no, lay down, guys. Lay down. Oxford Dictionary. Um, Now let's talk about like the area and where these can occur, right? So, um, so like ankles is a big one. That happens a lot. The knee from pivoting. Um, Thumbs from overextension. Um, Strains are most commonly found in the back from heavy lifting. Also in the hamstring, which is the back of the legs. Um, so let's go down to tears. Tears usually occur in an array of places. They commonly occur in the shoulder, hamstring, biceps, quadriceps, which is the front of the legs. Biceps are the front of the arms. Calves, the lower part of the arm or lower part of the legs. I'm sorry. Um, and actually have the guy on the top right. He is performing a strain on the back. Now the picture in the bottom right, that is a distal bicep tendon rupture. Distal means from the center of the body. So basically, this tendon that's in the bicep is tore from the elbow, and once it's tore from the elbow, the muscle actually contracts up to the top where it is attached and shrinks. You are no longer able to bend your arm this way if you have this. Um, Now let's talk about the recovery of these things. Um, Sprains, the minor to moderate ones, they can recover within 2 to 4 weeks. The more severe are 8 weeks. Um, and of course, the most serious injuries will require surgery. Strains, yeah, you can expect to recover from these from 3 to 6 weeks. Um, the severe strains are even months. Now tears are probably the worst. A minor tear, be 4 to 6 weeks. Um, Now tears that require surgery, you're gonna have 4 to 6 weeks of immobile limb, meaning you can't move it. After that, you're gonna have 4 to 6 months before you have full range of motion, and then after that, you'll have 1 year to completely recover. So 1 year, you'll be able to actually move that body part like you were before. That takes into account the immobile and the 4 to 6 weeks or 4 to 6 months of range of motion that you will have to wait for your range of motion. So let's go to let's summarize how we did this. Okay, so now I have discussed the differences in the types of injuries and how long they can affect us. Right. Now let's talk about the most common causes of these injuries. Falling, using your hand on, like falling on an uneven surface and using your hand to catch yourself. That is a common cause. Having uneven ground, which then causes you to fall, which could potentially, the uneven ground could potentially cause you to roll your ankle, sprain your ankle, sprain your hand, and using your hand to brace your fall. So it's very important that you actually are looking where you're going, where you're stepping whenever you're doing anything. You want to make sure that where you're stepping is where you want to step, and it doesn't catch you by surprise and you trip. So uneven ground, that's very common, very common. Slanted ground, even it could be flat, but it could be slanted. Also, attempting to lift something heavy, like you see SpongeBob doing in the top right corner here. SpongeBob is he is not only lifting something that is too heavy, he is lifting it alone. That is a problem. If you're lifting something heavy, you want to lift it with more than one person, preferably two people. Pulling. So what you're seeing here is he's also pulling, right? You could also pull muscles doing this. He's not actually lifting anything. He's just pulling it, trying to pull it. Also, not stretching. Not stretching is a big one that can cause injuries. You have to get the muscles moving first. You can't just go from a stationary to you're gonna lift a 50-pound box and think you're gonna be okay. And you have to lift properly. Lifting improperly is definitely what causes back pain. Back pain, hamstrings to be strained. This is also where you get tears from improperly lifting. Fatigue as well. Fatigue. Once you get fatigued, your form just goes out the window. Everybody knows it. If you've ever worked out, if you've ever did repetitive motion, you notice that whenever you get fatigued, your form starts to lack a lot. So you want to make sure that you're not getting fatigued. You're taking breaks. You're not lifting alone, and you're on even surface. You're stretching beforehand. Physical education can improve your life if you just take the time of the day and learn some. Through little physical education and covering the basics understandings of the most common injuries, we can now have a grasp of how these issues arise and how to prevent them from arising in the future. Nobody wants to spend days, weeks, or possibly even months from work, especially me. I hope that most of you have gathered information that you may perceive as being useful. If you want to refrain from having knee, neck, back pain, shoulder pain, leg pain, from having doing repetitive motion or on unsafe areas, refrain from doing that, and keep this speech in mind. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you learned something. Thank you.